Commissioner of Food Safety in Telangana has found multiple violations at a Blinkit warehouse in the state. Let's go across to Rishabh Bhatnagar for more on this. And Rishabh, good evening. To begin with, Rishabh, what we understand is that there were expired products, unhygienic storage standards. It appeared to be as bad as it gets. Take us through what happened.
Good evening, Nupur. That's right. There was a raid by the Commissioner of Food Safety. This happened on the 5th of June, and only yesterday did the Commissioner come out with a statement. What they have detailed is a plethora of issues that have come up. There have been unhygienic premises, dusty racks where a lot of food products have been stored. Along with that, food products have been stored alongside cosmetic products, which is taken as a safety hazard, a health hazard as well. Apart from that, there were a plethora of expired products ranging from maida to suji, all these packaged products that a lot of that are procured by local vendors that Blinkit contracts with. So products worth about 82,000 rupees were seized by this body as well. So a lot of issues that they have also pointed out in terms of the protection gear that the food handlers in these mini warehouses or dark stores that Blinkit operates, these have been found.
Do stay with us. Let's also go across now to Madhav Kasturia. He's the founder of Zippee. He's joining us on the broadcast. Madhav, good evening. Thank you for being with us. Now, Madhav, what happened in this particular warehouse is essentially demonstrative of the pain points that plague this quick commerce space. Tell us a bit more about those.
Hey, Nupur. Thanks for having me. So I think I'll give you a couple of reasons why such mismanagement happens, right? The first one, I think a lot of these quick commerce companies in the last 2-3 years came up. The mantra was growth at any cost, right? That led to a lot of oversight, may not deliberate oversight, but eventually at scale, when you're setting up 50, 100 dark stores every quarter, there is some oversight which is bound to happen, right? Apart from that, a lot of these dark stores are managed by blue collar crew members, and as you're aware, that's a revolving door. There needs to be a strong training and learning engine there. That was, I think, missing at scale. And lastly, I feel a lot of the findings and observations that were sort of released by the regulatories in Hyderabad, in the raid in Hyderabad, was something which could have easily been caught by internal audits, right? If they were plugged in at the right time, at the right place. So that was missing, and hence I think that led to oversight and of course what we found out in Hyderabad a day or two ago.
Now, obviously, Madhav, there seems to be quite a bit of gap in this case in what customer expects and what actually is a delivery reality. Now, what according to you are the measures that companies could perhaps take to ensure, that they can reduce that gap, especially, because they do operate in a sort of regulatory gray zone?
So I'll give you my side of the story. We operate close to 160 dark stores across 11 cities in India, enabling super fast deliveries for 125 plus customers, right? The largest ones in the country. What we do in terms of our playbooks, the first thing is we have compartmentalized storage for frozen, chilled, as well as ambient products. And it doesn't end there. Apart from the temperature segregation, we also have different spaces within our dark stores for the food, beverage, consumable section, along with the beauty, personal care, electronics, health, wellness, Ayurveda, a bunch of those categories. The second piece that we do is every 14 days across the network, across 11 cities, we have 14-day, fortnightly, wall-to-wall cycle counts, right? What that helps with is essentially checking for expired goods, checking for close to expiry, unsellable products, checking for damaged products which are not sellable in nature, and sort of weaning them out of the system, parking them in a separate bin, and essentially ensuring that those goods don't end up reaching the customers. And we also have another system of unannounced audits across cities, where we have an arm's length agency auditing all of these dark stores every month. And their findings and observations are essentially based on the parameters laid down by a lot of these regulatories. So I think a bunch of these measures sort of keep our dark stores in check from time to time.
All right, Rishabh, if I could come back to you. Rishabh, now Blinkit, of course, has a plan in place to expand very aggressively. So take us through those, and also how have they responded at this point in time to what's happened?
Right. Nupur, I'll take your second point first. Blinkit has said that they will continue to work with the regulator and address and fix any issues that have arisen here. They've also said that they will also work with the third-party operator. Now, it's very important to note here how these networks operate within these quick commerce arms. A large majority of them are franchise-based, and also they're also based in terms of even one single company can operate several dark stores within a geography. And as an individual, if I want to set up a dark store, I can also reach out to Blinkit and lease out if I have property in a prime area. So that's how this also works. The first point being, yes, Blinkit is on a very, very aggressive expansion that we're seeing, given that it has become a very, very integral part of the Zomato group. It has actually become a much more core offering than the business that Zomato started with, which is food delivery, and it has become a large driver of the potential of the stock of the Zomato stock as well. So a few numbers here. Blinkit today operates about 526 dark stores, and it will open another 474 stores within the next fiscal year by FY25. So they're almost doubling their store count. Whatever they had accumulated over the past 11 years, that is now going to be doubled in the next 1 year. So it is going to be a very, very interesting point where now we'll see how they plan to operationalize and really set a common baseline of operations without having regulators across these various states and food safety being compromised at a very, very mass level.
All right, Rishabh as well as Madhav, both of you, thank you very much for joining us. So as Rishabh is pointing out, of course, the regulator has already stepped in and Blinkit has been asked to explain what went wrong.